Hey guys, welcome back or to the channel. Today we're gonna get this old wood chipper running. So we're gonna change oil, check for spark, check the air filter, change the gas, take out the carb, clean all that up, and see where we are at that point. Wear your safety glasses and or hearing protection. Air filter removal and inspection. So the filter housing looks nice and clean, and the filter itself looks nice and clean, good and usable. A little bit of dirt, but that's to be expected. Now to remove the old gas, first we're going to remove the rest of the intake, and then we're going to take that line and drop it into a jerry can. Right now we're draining the fuel from the gas tank into the fuel tank, or the fuel can. What do you call it? I don't have a fuel stopper, which would be generally right here. This line actually feeds into the gas tank in one continuous thing. This is what I bought, but as you can see, this is not a 1/2 inch, it is a 1/8. So this is incompatible. I need to get a bigger one, and I'll just have an inline fuel peacock kind of stopper and whatnot. So once that drains, we're gonna take off the carb and then get to cleaning that. With the old fuel drained, we can now remove the carburetor for inspection and cleaning. So we have the carb off, and that's what it looks like close up. It's still got fuel in it, so we're going to drain that out. Looks like I could use a bit of cleaning. So I've already opened this up and cleaned up a little bit in it. That's the bleeder valve that goes in the bottom of the fuel bowl. That's the fuel bowl. That's the fuel float, and it's a little clean, but you can still see the tarnish and stuff. So we're going to clean this up a little bit, see how she does, blow it out with a bit of air, and then we'll go from there. I did not intend for that to rhyme. Do that a lot. We're going to clean the parts, use brushes and stuff, use a bit of a solvent, have a catch, and don't tell the wife. When you're working with fuel, whether it's gas or diesel, any kind of solvents, cleaners, always wear gloves to protect yourself. This is a small engine carburetor, so it doesn't take a lot of PSI. And in that regards, make sure you're not blowing it out using the full force of your air compressor. Some air compressors can reach 120 and has way too much PSI for a carburetor. Now to reassemble the carb. Upon reassembling the carburetor, everything goes back to the factory specs. And sometimes I use, depending on the seals, how bad they are, how good they are, I might use some ATV silicone. Right here, we're taking a look at the spark plug. There's not a lot of carbon, so that's a good sign. Looks like it's burning clean, so that says the spark plug is good. Next thing I'm gonna do is spray a little bit of brake clean in the cylinder, kind of like auto start fluid or starting fluid, and we'll see if there is some spark. Just a little bit. Whenever you're tightening up any kind of bolts or spark plugs, whatever it is, it's always important to retighten them back to factory specs. For me, I just tighten them down to about 7 foot-pounds, which is just a little bit too snug, hand tight. You probably didn't hear it, but there was a little bit of a spark. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish reconnecting all this together, change the oil, and then we'll get the final start on this thing. So the next thing we're gonna do is, just gonna cover that so nothing gets inside there. We're gonna drain the oil, which happens right here. So underneath here, there's a little bolt right here. You see where my hand is? And this is the bottom of the engine. The oil will drain out here. So we're gonna lift this up, and then that's what do you call it? You can add oil through there. You can add oil over here, right there. This is where we will be adding it. And again, on this side here. Now I use those as a point to say when the oil is full. So when I am filling the oil and it starts to fill up to the point of the lip of this. So we'll go here, open that up. I'm not sure what's in here. Yeah, you see right there, so the oil's dripping out. So that will be the fill level. And on the block itself, it will say how much oil you're able to put in this, but that's just a general thing that I've always gone by. If you look right here, nope, not there. Usually it's stamped. Yeah, I don't see it on my CR500. It'll say on the side of it 800 milliliters or 750 milliliters on the block, so that you know how much oil to put into the crankcase, which is essentially what this is. And here you have a backyard mechanic trying to lift up a wood chipper using some sort of means or something, I'm not sure. So now to change the oil, we're just going underneath here and grab this, I'll put the light, there we go. Turn this and the oil will come out. So with our wood chipper on the lift, drained the oil, and now we're adding it, putting everything back together. Oil is now changed. That looks very typical. Actually not so bad, but the problem is, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to change it, is you can't, it doesn't look too bad actually. With that not having a fuel stop on the motor, which I'm going to install later, I wanted to do that today, as you know, but don't have that. It could seep past the carburetor back into the cylinder through the intake system, and it could turn this from a lubricant into a solvent, and then you would basically be scraping the insides of the walls metal against metal, since there's no splash lubrication happening, and you can blow your engine that way or cause premature wear if you don't catch it. That being said, oil's changed, fuel valve will be installed shortly, probably this week. I'll order one tonight, and we'll get that fixed up in another video. A quick video that'll be. Since we do not have a proper fuel shutoff, I'll be using vice grips to compress the line and stop the fuel from flowing. So we know the air filter is good, the carb is clean, we have spark, fresh oil, and good fuel, so she should start. I have it set to choke, I have it set to run. Let's see what happens. So with that being said, this thing is amazing. It makes a lot of noise, and it takes this and it will turn it into that kind of debris. As you can see, there's a nice little dispersal pattern. A lot of air, I guess, come from the chute. You can also put your leaves and stuff into the back of this thing, which is what I was doing. You can just stuff it down there. Make sure you don't get your hands stuck into this thing. I think it's got like a little warning here not to do that, you know, it's very dangerous. Like, you want to be wearing safety glasses and hearing protection. All that being said, this is a win. Makes a lot of noise, so it's Sunday. I'm gonna leave it at that for the 3 minutes I had this thing running, and call this a win. Future projects, we'll be getting to that, to that, to that, to that, to this, this, and that, plus those. Then there's this, and then there's that, and then there's that, and then there's the one on the ground. Plus numerous other engines and motors. If you like what I do here, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Have any questions, comments, concerns? Leave them down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Peace! So to stop the fuel from going into the carburetor and then going into the engine, I am going to pair their vice grips over top of this. That way she won't leak. Good as a fuel stop.